So this is episode 8, season 1 of the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero. I mean heroes. Not hero, heroes. Yeah. So, this episode is about the Hulk. Mainly focuses on the Hulk and him struggling to fit in with the Avengers, and also someone manipulating his mind. Seems to be someone posing as Bruce Banner, and it's later to be revealed it is Enchantress, who's working with other supervillains. Well, just one right now. That we see on screen. She's working with others, but she only brought one to fight the Avengers, along counting her, so 2 bad guys. And they're kicking the Avengers' ass. And this is after the Hulk leaves the Avengers, after the Avengers fight the Hulk, while he's being brainwashed by the Enchantress and manipulative. And because the Enchantress wanted him to leave the Avengers and also to weaken the team and to lose the Avengers, I guess it seems to be what she wanted to. Ask him to leave the team, but lose the trust in the Avengers, and the Avengers basically have one man down, one last man on their team. Well, in this case, it's Hulk. And Bruce Banner says he was being manipulated. Someone wanted you to fight the Avengers, and that's when Hulk's screaming over that. Feeling all bummed out and depressed that that they still see that the Avengers see him no more than a monster than General Ross or Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D. So he's all bummed out and depressed about it, and Banner's telling Hulk in his head that he's gotta make sure the Avengers are okay and gotta go back. And he says he's only a monster if he lets it bother him. If he let it beat his life. If he lets that beat his life. In other words, he can still be a hero. He can still be more than just a monster. Just when the Avengers look like they're all going to get slaughtered, the Avenger Hulk arrives in the nick of time to save the day. And take down the Enchantress and the Executioner. And the Avengers are winning and team up with Hulk again after Hulk saves the day, and gets the drop on the Enchantress and the Executioner. And the Enchantress tries to manipulate Hulk again by controlling him, by playing thoughts in his head, and telling him to destroy the Avengers, and the Hulk just has pissed Hulk off, and he just smashes the Executioner, attacks the Enchantress and the Executioner to attack them, and he says, "No one controls the Hulk," and he just that pisses him off, and he saves the day, and the day is victorious, but then the Hulk leaves anyway. He says, when everyone's patting the Hulk on the back, and including Thor, who's been a real dick to him in this episode, who's been referred to him as creature several times, and and who said that he was so several times he says we've been fed up with him, his behavior, and and basically treating him like a savage monster, and so is the worst side of the mistreating the Hulk. So he leaves because he says to the Avengers because I helped you this man back on the team. You guys thought I was nothing more than a savage monster. You're no better than Nick Fury or General Ross, except they're honest about it. And Ross was the only one that didn't really Ross tries to beg Hulk to stay, and by saying Hulk's not like that, and the Hulk seems to be hesitating, like, at first to leave, but then he just jumps this leaves by traveling through his really distances of jumping and high distances of jumping. Long distance and high. Very high. And he just leaps in the air, and that's the end of this episode. It kind of ends on a very depressing note. But then when Hulk comes back and to join the Avengers again, and to help them out, and all the Avengers kind of feel guilty that they kind of let Hulk down. So and the next episode after this, they go searching for Hulk and try to get him back, and then they get sidetracked by stumbling upon that Captain America's body is not a corpse, and so they melt him off, defrost him from being on ice since World War II time, because that's when he went on ice. So yeah. So I really like this episode. I give it a 10 out of 10. Okay. I think I like this episode better than the first time viewed it, because I guess I feel bad because I kind of hated this watching the first time I viewed this episode when it was on air as a new episode on cable. I kind of hated watching it because even though I was enjoying it, I kind of hated it because I kind of felt so bad for Hulk because he just got let down again by someone that seemed to accept him for who he is, a hero. So and then it picks off next episode picks off day 2 of being an active team player in the Avengers, and Hulk just gets let down in day 2. Yeah. Well, so that kind of sucks. I felt very bad for him. So I thought that was kind of depressing. This one Hulk seems like he found happiness. He just and found friends and stuff. And they end up letting him down, and so so in a way it's very sad, but also it is also very triumphant. This ending is because Hulk went back to help his friends, even though he has been let down by them. So it's kind of a bittersweet ending. I think so. It's I think bittersweet means bad and good for the main protagonist of the story. I guess I think that's what bittersweet means. In terms of movie endings of shows, in terms of endings of stories for movies and shows, or just endings of any type of stories that gets told. So yeah, so I really like this episode. I definitely think it's worth watching. What I like about the show that you don't have to see all the episodes in order to well, except for Breakout. Except for Breakout, because that's when the Avengers assemble and first become the Avengers. I guess, okay, I take that back. You don't have to see the episodes in order unless there are 2-part or 3-part or how many parts of a story of episodes. So, I mean, is this a standalone episode? It's more emotional and draining if you in a good way if you watch all of the episodes in order, but it's still episodes majority of the time the episodes always still hit home run, at least for me. Even we don't see all the episodes in order, and you just want to watch a certain episode. They still work. I think you still feel very sentimental to these characters and still in love with these versions of the Avengers for each Avengers member on the show. And yeah, so that's what I have to say about this episode 8, season 1, The Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I give this episode a 10 out of 10, and shit, I already gave it a 10 out of 10. I'll end it here.